Hello, everybody. So, I thought we would go through a few things with a group that's really affluent in the comic universe, especially the 616. We, of course, are talking about the Illuminati Group. Now, this group is a secret society and a group of superheroes that appear in Marvel Comics, and the original writer that brought them into existence was Brian Michael Bendis. Now, he wrote them in and first published the appearance in the New Avengers number 7, and that was back in July 2005. Now, each one of the members is accredited to something special or unique to the Marvel Universe, and particularly just the Earth that they're on. Each Earth in the multiverse actually has a Illuminati group. In the primary 616 universe, the Earth there usually has Namor the Submariner, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Black Bolt, Dr. Stephen Strange, Professor Charles Xavier. And all of these guys have a particular set of skills that they bring to the table. Namor, for example, is the king of Atlantis and represents the anti-hero mindset. Tony Stark represents the Avenger-type hero. He pretty much represents the common man, and he possesses no natural superhuman abilities. Reed Richards, he obviously represents the science-based part of the superhero community. Black Bolt is king of the Inhumans. They're a pretty important part of Marvel history and play a pretty important part of events that have not yet come to pass. You also have Dr. Stephen Strange, which is brought in for his mystical and non-scientific side of the Marvel Universe. Professor Charles Xavier is brought in basically because he is the only mutant in the community, but more than that, his powers and abilities just dictate that he's on the group. Together, they all bring with them a unique viewpoint and perspective that isn't shared by each of the others. Upon its first creation, they were supposedly made up during the Kree and Skull War, and that war ravaged Earth. Iron Man, he actually brings up the fact that numerous heroes possessed information that could have actually prevented the war had they been combined in their knowledge, as well as the fact that Earth's heroes are the only defense against an attack on that type of scale. Tony basically decides that a representative body has to be made similar to the United Nations, but it has to be established amongst all of the heroes. The others in attendance all debate the effectiveness of such body, pointing out issues of trust among heroes and the bureaucracy that would result. The large majority of them agree that continued secret meetings such as the one that they were having at that moment would help deal with larger threats in the future. Every one of them agree to this except for Black Panther, who does take issue with their self-righteous attitudes and predicts disaster when they disagree. However, their group came and went as time went on. In some issues, they disbanded, and in others, they come back together because of a common threat. Combating one of the more larger threats to the Marvel Universe or the Earth that they're on, the Hulk was decided to be sent into space. They sent him into an uninhabited world, basically all alone and with no help to get back. Now, Namor dissents from the plan from the onset. He argues that they have no right to banish their ally from Earth and accuses them of not helping to cure Bruce Banner to the best of their abilities. The other 4 members vote in favor of the plan, and Namor departs after a brief argument with Iron Man beneath the waves. While leaving, he says that the Black Panther was correct, and Namor predicted that the Hulk will eventually return to seek justified revenge. Now, at one point, Mr. Fantastic actually reveals to the group that he's been collecting the Infinity Gems on his own, in hopes to collect them all with their help. Despite a general apprehension, the group manages to acquire all 6 gems. Now, when the gems are assembled, Mr. Fantastic attempts to will the gems out of existence. However, he is unable to do so. Faced with his failure and a reprimand from Yatu the Watcher, he makes the controversial decision to give each Illuminati member 1 gem to hide so that they may never be combined and used again. In the aftermath of sending Hulk to a deserted planet by himself, Reed is contacted by Amadeus Cho, who informs him that the Hulk did not land on the intended planet. When the Hulk ultimately returns to Earth, he seeks revenge on the Illuminati as Namor had warned. Hulk became the king of the planet he landed on before the ship self-destructs and destroys millions of inhabitants, along with the Hulk's wife and unborn child. His first act is to attack and defeat Black Bolt at the Inhuman settlement on the moon. Hulk arrives on Earth and sends a transmission to hand over Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Mr. Fantastic to him, while giving the citizens of New York City time to evacuate. After providing New York with a 24-hour time limit to hand over 3 Illuminati to him, the Hulk approaches Professor X at his mansion to determine whether he would have supported the Illuminati plan had he been present that day. After scanning Hulk's mind, Professor X confirms that he would have agreed with the plan, but only until a method could be found to prevent the Hulk from endangering others. He battles the X-Men, and after learning the mutant population's recent severe losses as a result of M-Day, the Hulk decides that the X-Men have suffered enough, and he departs. Then after taking over Manhattan Island, the Hulk is attacked by Iron Man in a new Hulkbuster armor, only for him to be defeated and Stark Tower to be destroyed. Despite the aid of other members of the Fantastic Four, including temporary members the Black Panther and Storm, the same fate befalls Mr. Fantastic. Doctor Strange tries to enter the Hulk's mind, but Hulk tricks Strange into presenting himself in a physical form that he attacks upon appearance. Doctor Strange later invokes and is possessed by the demon spirit of Zom, hoping that he could stop the Hulk before it was too late. However, he loses control of his newfound power, and he almost caused some civilians to die during his battle with the Hulk. Although the Hulk saves them, this action makes Strange lose his confidence in his powers and makes him vulnerable for the Hulk to defeat him. Soon after, the Hulk implants the Illuminati members with obedience discs and forces them to fight each other in a makeshift gladiatorial ring in Madison Square Garden. However, the Hulk spared them from killing each other, showing that he proved his point to the whole entire world. They survive the encounter by Hulk's mercy and the timely intervention of the Sentry, which leads to a prolonged battle where both Hulk and Sentry reverse back to their human forms. Then Bruce Banner knocks out Robert Reynolds with one final punch. This allows enough time for Stark to use his prototype defense satellites to negate the Hulk's powers. The Illuminati is also partially cleared from the responsibility of Scar's destruction when Meek admits he saw the Red King's forces breach the chip's warp core and kept quiet to initiate what Meek felt was Hulk's destiny as the, quote, world breaker. The only member of the Illuminati that the Hulk doesn't try to bring down is Namor the Submariner, as he was against what they were going to do to the Hulk from the onset. Later on, when Black Panther discovers a threat to the entire Marvel universe, he sees no option but to call together the Illuminati once again, including the former member Black Bolt and later mutant scientist Beast to deal with the threat. Professor X is not part of the call because he was killed at the end of the war between the Avengers and the X-Men. This new convocation of the Illuminati is now composed of the team of new Avengers. Now, before meeting with the Illuminati, Black Panther privately confronts Namor, who had previously killed hundreds of Wakandans, so it was a very constrained relationship. Their conversation is brief but tense, with Namor, still king of Atlantis, unfazed before Black Panther's tightly controlled rage. Black Panther then informs Namor that as soon as the current crisis is settled, he will kill him. When Captain America attempts to use the Infinity Gauntlet to push the colliding planets back for some time, he makes a valiant effort, but the gems are destroyed, with the exception of the Time Gem, which vanishes to parts unknown. Captain America argues that the Illuminati are wrong to consider building a world-destroying weapon to save Earth, and that doing so will corrupt them. Iron Man has already anticipated that Captain America will respond in that way, and therefore Doctor Strange has prepared a spell that he uses to wipe Captain America's mind of the Illuminati meeting. During the original Sin storyline, following the murder of Uatu the Watcher, Captain America's exposure to Uatu's eye during the confrontation with the orb restores his memory. After Captain America and the Avengers are transported to the future realities with the Time Gem, Captain America announces that Illuminati are to be arrested. Now, the Illuminati are not to be confused with the Cabal. The Cabal was a more villainous and anti-heroic counterpart of the Illuminati, and very much could be in the new Doctor Strange movie. It pretty much consists of supervillains and anti-heroes: Norman Osborn, Doctor Doom, Hood, Loki, Emma Frost, and sometimes Namor. Other recruits to the Illuminati group are also Medusa, Beast, Captain Britain, Mastermind Exilo, and even Yellow Jacket, which is Hank Pym. Now, as we said from the beginning of this video, all of the Illuminati groups are grouped together through almost every universe in the multiverse. So we have a Earth 231. They have a reality where Mr. Fantastic goes ahead and kills all the other Illuminati members to basically keep them from being too ambitious. In some instances, such as Earth 2319, the Illuminati includes different members such as Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Doom, Black Panther, Yellow Jacket, Captain Britain, the other Captain Britain, and even Emma Frost. Now, this version were destroyed by the map makers during the incursion event. The Earth 23099 universe, the Illuminati group included Mr. Fantastic, Iron Man, Professor X, but also added Shuri and Magneto, as well as Mar-Vell. However, they were destroyed by the Black Priest during the incursion. Anyway, this is our video on the Illuminati group from Marvel Comics. We're hoping that in the Multiverse of Madness we will see them, or maybe be surprised and see the Cabal instead, thinking that that was the Illuminati group. Either way, we think it's going to be a great movie, and we think that reading up on the Illuminati will probably benefit you greatly going into it. You guys have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wonderful morning, whichever. Please also like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that around here. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Tell us what you'd like to hear on our channel for our next video. As always, Excelsior. See ya.